Khloe Kardashian and Scott Disick respond to speculations about her being pregnant with his child. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Khloe Kardashian and Scott Disick have known each other for many years, and during the very first episode of Khloe's new podcast called Khloe in Wonderland, the two close friends decided to talk about an old and surprising rumor that many people believed in the past. Even though this rumor had been going around for years, they had never fully spoken about it until now. The story was that Scott had once gotten Khloe pregnant, something that clearly never happened, but it was talked about so much that even their families had to deal with it. Scott, who was once in a long-term relationship with Khloe's sister Kourtney Kardashian, and is also the father of Kourtney's 3 children, Mason, Penelope, and Rain, spoke in a relaxed and funny way about how people used to think he and Khloe had something going on. He said that back in those days, his parents, Jeffrey and Bonnie Disick, who have since passed away, would constantly hear wild stories in magazines or on the internet and would call him to ask if they were true. One of the most repeated rumors was about him and Khloe. Scott remembered how his parents would ask, almost every day, if he had gotten Khloe pregnant. He laughed as he recalled sarcastically saying, "Yes, Dad, I got Khloe pregnant," just to tease them because the question kept coming up over and over again. His dad would just say, "Okay," without knowing if it was a joke or not. It became such a regular topic that it turned into a kind of running joke in their family. But just to make things clear for everyone listening to the podcast, Khloe quickly interrupted him and made sure to say, very clearly, that he never got her pregnant. She said it in a direct way, wanting to stop any confusion before it could even begin. It was important to her to make sure people understood that nothing like that ever happened between them. Scott then went on to explain that during the early 2000s and 2010s, rumors about the Kardashian sisters were everywhere. He said that every single week, it felt like a new story came out that claimed he was involved with one of the sisters. He even joked that the media would say he got a different sister pregnant each time. He laughed and asked, "Where are all the kids then?" pointing out how silly and false the rumors were. It was just part of being connected to such a famous family, where even the smallest moment or friendly gesture could turn into a dramatic story. Khloe, who was enjoying the funny and honest conversation, added that even though many years have passed, some fans still bring up the idea that she and Scott might have had something more than just friendship. She said that before launching her podcast, she asked her fans who they wanted her to interview on the first episode. According to her, the number one person people requested was Scott. That showed just how much interest there still is in their relationship. But Khloe also mentioned that once people found out Scott would be the first guest, the most asked question was whether she and Scott had ever been together in a romantic way. Scott, always ready to make a joke, answered playfully at first, pretending to say yes in a sarcastic tone. But Khloe didn't let that moment linger and once again confirmed strongly that no, they have never had that kind of relationship. She wanted everyone to know the truth, without any confusion or mixed messages. Khloe, who is now 40 years old and known for her work in fashion and reality TV, said she didn't know if the second most popular question was directly related to her and Scott or if it was more general. But people kept asking why the two of them were not married. She laughed as she said it, clearly finding it strange that people saw them that way. She said people ask that question as if their close friendship must mean they should be in a romantic relationship. Scott seemed surprised that anyone would even think that. He looked shocked by the idea that people thought he and Khloe should be married. They continued to talk about how strange and silly it is that people make up stories just because two people are close. Scott said that a lot of the time, the media or fans will see two people being friendly and just decide that something bigger must be going on. He explained that people look at their bond, see how comfortable and supportive they are with each other, and then go wild with their guesses. He said that those people don't stop to think that two people can just be good friends without there being anything more. He described it as completely made up and said that once people start spreading those kinds of stories, it's hard to stop them. Scott was honest about how close he and Khloe are. He said they have always shared a special connection, but that does not mean anything romantic ever happened between them. He said he's aware that sometimes he says things that sound a bit much or come off as strange, but that's just his personality. He likes to joke and say outrageous things, but it doesn't mean he is being serious. He wanted everyone to know that even though he might say wild things sometimes, they are meant to be funny, not real. He explained that it is very strange and even a little crazy that some people truly believe there was something romantic between him and Khloe. He found the idea surprising and hard to understand. He said clearly that he has children with Khloe's sister, and that kind of connection makes it impossible for him to see Khloe in any other way than as a close friend or family member. The idea that they could be soulmates or have a romantic future together doesn't make any sense to him at all. He said it is ridiculous to think something like that. Even though Scott no longer has a romantic relationship with any of the Kardashian sisters, he and Kourtney have shown that they are great partners when it comes to raising their children together. They have been seen working well as a team, even after their breakup. Scott said he focuses now on being a good parent and maintaining peace in the family. He knows how important it is for the children to see their parents get along and support one another, even if they are not together anymore. This open and honest conversation between Scott and Khloe gave fans a better look into their real friendship. They made it clear that while they care deeply about each other, they have never had a romantic relationship and have no plans for that kind of connection in the future. They have simply been very close friends who understand each other, respect one another, and share many years of family experiences. This kind of friendship, especially between two people of the opposite sex, is not always understood by the public. But Scott and Khloe have managed to stay true to their bond, no matter what people say. They have gone through many ups and downs in their lives, including public breakups, family changes, and growing media attention. Through it all, they have stayed close and supportive of one another. That kind of connection is rare, especially in the world of fame, and it's something they clearly value. Khloe said that she wants her podcast to be a place where people can talk openly and honestly, without hiding things or pretending. That's why she felt it was important to bring Scott on as her first guest and address the biggest rumors that have followed them for years. She wanted to clear the air and give fans the truth in a way that feels real and respectful. Scott's humor and honesty added to the conversation, making it easy for listeners to enjoy while also learning the facts. Their episode showed that rumors can last for a long time, even when they are completely false. It also reminded people that the truth is often much simpler than the stories told by the media. Scott and Khloe are just two people who became like family through shared experiences. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.